Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, graduands, their families and their friends, welcome to this slightly delayed ceremony for the conferring of degrees in medicine. Our apologies for the delay. I think, are now able to run with the ceremony as planned. So my apologies again. It is my pleasant duty to introduce our Chancellor, Dr. Helen Nugent, AO.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and I pay my respect to their elders, both past and present. Graduates, or perhaps I more appropriately should now say doctors. Yes! Congratulations on concluding the first milestone in your career journey as medical practitioners. It is a truly wonderful day. Undoubtedly, you will encounter many milestones along the career path you've chosen. Perhaps that milestone will be when you deliver your first baby. What an emotional moment that will be. The time when you have to tell someone they are dying, or when you witness a young child being pulled through against the odds. And there's been a number of stories along those lines in recent times. You are in a unique position as medical practitioners, walking in the feet of others, walking through their pain and their triumph. A number of you have already had a taste of what this future will be like with your involvement in clinical placements in the Solomon Islands. We know wherever the journey takes you, either close or far away, that your foundation as Bond alumni will be absolutely do you proud. We are immensely proud of each of you, and I feel sure you are proud of your association with Bond. Congratulations on the attainment of your degree. You have my enormous best wishes for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our graduates. It now gives me enormous pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker for today, Mr. Ron Calvert. Mr. Calvert commenced as the Chief Executive of the Gold Coast Hospitals and Health Service in October 2012. Prior to this appointment, Mr. Calvert was the Chief Executive of Doncaster and Bachelor National Health Service Foundation Trust, which has 6,000 staff and a turnover of £330 million. It operates from 3 main locations. His previous post was Chief Executive of Trafford Healthcare National Health Service Trust. Mr. Calvert was responsible for turning around a financially challenged trust and developing proposals for a new integrated care organisation. He also introduced a quality regime that resulted in a significant reduction in mortality rates, resulting in Trafford being rated in the top 11 hospitals in England. In addition, the Trust made significant improvements in healthcare-acquired infection rates. Mr. Calvert graduated from the University of Newcastle upon Tyne with an MBA in 1994, and he also holds a Bachelor of Science in Zoology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ron Calvert.
Chancellor, thank you very much for that introduction, and Vice-Chancellor and guests, thank you for inviting me here to give this address. It's difficult to come up with something profound in an address like this. The messages, I think, are pretty simple, and they're relatively short. I think you'll be pleased to hear as well. So, I think the first thing I want to say, of course, is congratulations. Congratulations to you all, and congratulations to your families who've supported you in getting to this particular position, which is a fantastic achievement. You should be very proud of what you've done. You should be proud of your families for the support that they've given you in getting here. You should be proud of the lecturers and others who've helped you in addition to your families. You should be proud most of all, of course, of yourselves. It's a fantastic calling that you're entering, and you're doing, as the Chancellor has already indicated, you're going to be doing a very important job. I think the chances of some of you working in our particular hospitals are probably quite high, actually, in the coming few years, if not on your rotations, then perhaps ultimately even as a consultant working in our organisation. If that is the case, then I hope you'll come up and say hello and remind me that I was the person who gave you your address at your graduation. I think that there is one very important thing that I want to get across to you. It's said much more eloquently in a video that I shared with the Vice-Chancellor a few days ago when we were talking about me coming here to address you all. And if anyone's curious, you can look it up on the internet. If you just Google empathy video and Gold Coast Health, then you'll see a link to the video. And the video is far more eloquent than what I'm about to say. It basically reminds people of what it is about your role that's so important. And the key message it makes is that for all the technical skills you've learned and will continue to learn, because make no mistake, you're on a journey now of lifelong learning, and it'll never stop whilst you fulfill your career. For all the technical gifts that you establish, for all the wonderful insights that your knowledge gives you the ability to glean, you will find that people will forget the things that you've done for them, and they will forget the things that you said. But they will never forget the way you made them feel. And what you're doing is one of the most important callings on earth. And that is the very simple message I want to give you. Never forget how you make people feel in your role as a doctor. Be proud to be called a doctor. Be proud of the achievements that you've got you to this point. But retain that perspective on life. You'll find it's the most important message you'll ever hear. So I'm going to be true to my word and conclude there. It is a short speech. You can hear and see a much more eloquent version if you go online and look that up. Congratulations again to you all and to all your families. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Calvert. We really appreciate the message might be simple, but so important. Pride. Pride in what you have achieved. But above all else, the message about the way in which you make people feel. I'm sure such a simple message, such a powerful message, and a message that I'm sure that you will never forget. And I do urge you also to watch the video. The Vice-Chancellor had told me in advance that was going to be Mr. Calvert's message, and I was moved to the core by it. So please, ladies and gentlemen, would you join me once again in thanking Mr. Calvert?
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, it gives me considerable, no, indeed great pleasure to be able to present to you today the graduating class in medicine for 2014. Today we have before us 78 graduands, with 3 whom are able to make it today. So in total, 81 graduands for admission to the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery of Bond University. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. And I hadn't even finished. I also admit to their awards in absentia the 3 graduates listed in the graduation program who are unable to be present today. Now let's raise the roof.
So you are now formally graduates. Will you please be seated?
I now invite the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine to join me in congratulating each of her graduates as they are presented.
Chancellor, I present the following graduates: Mohammed Hashim Anthony Abdeen, Naji Alamedin, Muhammad Imran Almar Ali, Kylie Louise Beam, Jamie William Bellinge, Daniel Bauer, Kimberly Rose Bradshaw, Jenny Huang Yen Bui, Benny Chan, Wendy Chan, Samuel Charles Charleston, Asokan Chetty, Michelle Chua Yen Kun, James Adams Coldham, Melanie Conroy, George Kosman. Jason Chue. Zachary Maximilian Denz. Jazrin Kaur Daliwal. Shanil Ramesh Danji. Lee Ann Exelby. Julie Ferguson. Catherine Gazalakis. Erin Harrison. Hugh David Hutchins House. Andrew John Hughes. Amy Hun. Rachel Jacob. Cassandra Jane Jevons. David Charles Johnston. Anna Yurevna Kashchuk. Veronica Joy Kelly. Nitul Unadkat Kiroya. Jessica Lee Quarry. Nigel Kwok. Keith Koki Leong. Jonathan Leo. Kathleen Rebecca Lockhart. Chun Ma. Jane McLennan. Jonathan Bunkin Ma. Emily Christine Jane Martin. David Paul Martini. Philopetir Mikhail. Narissa Naidu. Jessica Yansin Ng. Amy Huang An Nguyen. Matthew Nusser. Kieran Patrick Oldfield. Amalan Paskarananda Vadivel. Aravind Arthur Patterson. Sai Navya Purchuri. Jennifer Lavanya Pushparaja. Anna Rose Quirk. Jainil Ramnarain. Rajan Rihan. Shalom Richmond. Miles Rivlin. Monica Roman. Hedy Roes. Rupinder Singh Sekon. Arti Shah. Peter Simos. Chris Sue. Justina Tadros. Edward Kumfei-Teo. Daniel R. Tambridge. Nadine Elizabeth Ann Thorburn. Neha Tiwari. Belinda Tran. Lisha Weissenberger. Julia Dushani Walala Godage. Sophie J. West. Nicholas Yerchen Young. Anna Jane Yaxley. Saif Youssef. Wajiha Zagham. Chancellor, the graduate selected to give the valedictory address on behalf of all those graduating today has been awarded the University Gold Medal in Medicine. Chancellor, I present Hiba Latif Gundru.
Good afternoon, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, special guests, staff, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2014. It is such a great honour and privilege for me to be able to stand here and represent you all. I'm truly humbled. As I reflect on the time that we've spent in this course over the past 5 years, it brings about the kind of emotions that we would feel in just one day on the wards, as this journey has been some of the most exciting, challenging, stressful, and certainly rewarding years of our lives. We have all come such a long way from the beginning, where the biggest challenges were just getting some of us to early Monday morning PBL, or figuring out exactly how you're supposed to take a blood pressure without tangling you or your patient up. We then progressed to the clinical years, and whether it was the first-time expecting mother who allowed us to deliver her baby, or the family of a critically ill patient who allowed us insight into their difficult situation, we have since, quite literally, faced matters of life and death together. Our biggest lessons were learnt through these patients and their stories. All of this that we've achieved up to this point, however, would not have been possible without the support of many people, who I would like to acknowledge today. So firstly, to Bond University. The fact that we are standing here as the 6th cohort to graduate medicine at Bond is a testament to the efforts of many people. The visionaries who started this course, and those that continue to support its growth and development. Despite being such a young medical school, this course continues to evolve and improve to certainly be on par with the other medical schools in the region, which is a credit to this university. To all the staff involved with the medical program, both past and present, all the academics, clinicians, tutors, and the entire supporting staff team, some of who you see here today, we sincerely thank you for your efforts. There are many staff here that have known us from the day we started, some that take such a personal interest in our journey and have shaped us into the medical practitioners we will be. Thank you for helping create the foundation on which we start our careers. To all the families, to our parents, our siblings, extended family, partners, children, and friends, many of whom are here today. Your love, support, and belief in our abilities is the reason that we were able to reach this point. Thank you for the many sacrifices that you have made so that we were able to study medicine, and for always picking us up in difficult times. On a personal note, I would like to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to my family, in particular my parents. I am forever grateful for your unwavering encouragement and support through everything, for putting up with my ramblings, and for those of you who know me, that can go on for a while, and my many idiosyncrasies around exams. You have been my strength, and this would have never been possible without your support. And finally, I saved the best until last, to my cohort. After the many stressful days and sleepless nights and wondering exactly how this was all going to turn out, we finally made it. Thank you to all of you, whether you were just standing beside me for moral support while I had nervously attempted a procedure for the first time, or whether we were just trying to hide behind each other to avoid being in the firing line of questions by a certain consultant. You have been there through it all. I've seen you during good times, whether you were outperforming registrars or successfully achieving REM sleep in class. But there's also been times of difficulty with some students in this cohort having to come great personal adversities to reach this point today, and I am truly inspired by your resilience. I am also very grateful for the friendships that I have made in this class. You have shared in my celebrations, my fears, and at times confusion, but most importantly, were always there to make me laugh. You made the long days and the challenging times pass a lot easier. And so, after today, there will be no more coffee and sushi runs mid-lecture, no more barrier-induced states of panic, and certainly no more using our favourite 6-word phrase. Sorry, I'm just a medical student. But no matter how far life takes us, we will forever be connected through the time that we have spent here together. I hope that we all remember that although we've chosen this profession to help or look after people, we must always remember to help each other and look after ourselves. There are exciting times ahead as we watch our careers unfold, and it's inevitable that there will be challenging times ahead too. But I have full faith that the foundation that we have created over the past 5 years will serve us well. Congratulations and good luck. Can I now ask the graduates to please stand to join me for the reading of the Hippocratic Oath? I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply, for the benefit of the sick, all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of over-treatment and therapeutic nihilism. I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug. I will not be ashamed to say, I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery. I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death. This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty. I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick. I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure. I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm. All graduates. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help. Thank you. Graduates, you can be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Goodrin. What a wonderful journey that she has shared with us. A journey that has encompassed you all. A journey of warmth, of community, you can feel it in this room, and of humanity. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for acknowledging Bond. It is a special place. And thank you for acknowledging the visionaries who established the program. And in fact, that individual is with us today, Professor Rob Stable, our former Vice-Chancellor. Please stand, Rob. Hiba has had a remarkable academic record, as we know from her gaining the gold medal. She had a cumulative GPA of 3.54. She was first in class for Year 4 and first in class for Year 5. She has twice been placed on the Dean's list and the Vice-Chancellor's list. As well as her excellent academic achievement, she co-presented a paper at the Australian and New Zealand Association for Health Professional Educators titled Developing Medical Students' Understanding of How Qualitative Research Can Be Used to Explore and Inform Curricula. She is one of the finest living examples of Bond's motto of bringing ambition to life. We wish her and you all the best as you pursue life's goals. Congratulations and thank you again. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor and President to read the Bond University charge to the graduates.
I request that the graduates please stand. I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply and to continue to extend your learning to the benefit of society, to strive through your actions to promote the universal worth of all people, to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours so that in fulfilling your personal goals and human responsibilities, you add to the standing of your university, and to support and uphold your university and its alumni through engagement with the Bond Alumni Organisation and through personal commitment. I ask the graduates, do they accept that charge? That's one of the weakest acceptors I've ever heard. Can I try that again? Graduates, do you accept the charge? Yes. Thank you. You may now be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us very close to the end of formalities for this afternoon. Hiba, thank you for an outstanding valedictory address. Can I join with Hiba in expressing her sentiments to thank, on behalf of our graduating class, the support, the warmth, the love, indeed the financial commitment that lies behind your achievements. Many of those people are in the room today. Many could not be present today. But I ask the graduates to always remember this has not been a personal journey. It hasn't been one undertaken by yourselves as an individual. It's been one which has been undertaken and shared with your support group, be it that immediate family, be it in some cases husbands, wives, indeed I know some of you have children of your own. It's been a tough journey, but as I say, it has not been a journey taken alone. So there's an opportunity today to turn to your left and to behind you and to acknowledge publicly the support that you've received from your friends and loved ones. So I ask the graduating class to stand, to turn and face their support group and thank them with all the gusto you can muster. Thank you. On behalf of the university, it's a great pleasure to be with you today and to share this moment. Some people argue that life is actually measured through an aggregation of moments. If you're of such belief, I trust that today is one of those moments that stands you well for the challenges ahead. I hope it's a moment that you recall with much pleasure. I hope it's a moment that you recall with much pride. The amount of work, effort, dedication of hours, early mornings, late nights, brings you to this place on this particular occasion. You are only the 6th graduating cohort from the medical program at Bond University. In many years' time, people will look upon those pioneering souls from 2014 that had the faith and the courage, indeed, to place their belief in this university and its medical program. I thank you for that faith, I thank you for that belief, and I wish you well on your journey in life. Your journey will be a challenging one. It won't be simple, and there will be occasions where you'll be forced to look into yourselves and test your value set, to work out where your moral compass is pointed and whether or not it can continue to be pointed in the direction in which you want it to. I hope that there are some lessons in life that you've learnt during your studies here at Bond University, and those lessons in life serve you well. For we are a community, and I can tell just from the sense of today's occasion that you are an extraordinarily tight cohort. You have formed some great friendships here that will serve you well for life. You now have a network of peers, of fellow professionals that you should always be able to call upon in those difficult moments. The university wishes you well when you face those moments. The university trusts that your value set, your morals, your behaviours, your ethical standards, and indeed your actions will be consistent with the university's framework that we have set for you. Our reputation is not forged by the buildings and the facilities which surround us. Our reputation is forged and will continue to be forged by the quality of our graduates. That umbilical cord that has joined us for the past 5 years of your life can no longer be severed. There is no option. You are now part of us and we are now part of you. So go well, Godspeed, and good luck. To those out there in the audience that have had the pleasure of joining us in this afternoon's ceremony, can I again apologise for our tardiness at the start of the ceremony, but given that many of you will have waited somewhere between 20 and 30 years for this moment, I trust that you forgive us for a little 15, 20 minutes. It's been a moment worth waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been an extremely attentive audience, a very patient audience, and I know that tonight you will help the graduating class of 2014 celebrate well, I trust you do. But this is an opportunity, and indeed your last opportunity, to recognise the graduating cohort within the confines of what has been their home for the last 5 years, and that is Bond University. So I ask everyone in the audience, if you join with me, to recognise publicly one last time our sense and pride of the achievement of the graduating cohort from the medical program 2014. Well done, guys.